So hi everybody, welcome to Brown Bag Lunch, and we've got two incredible gentlemen in the winemaking world, Jason Deloach and Devin Ruddock, and they are from Hook and Ladder in the Russian River area of California. I've been there myself and absolutely think it's remarkable. But I think the most important thing to talk, well, no, it's not the most important thing, but the first thing to talk about is that it's darn hot down there, isn't it, gentlemen?
Yes.
Oh, and Jason, you are muted as well. You'll have to unmute yourself.
I think it was about 112 yesterday, 113,
yeah.
113 degrees. So yes, yeah, very hot.
That's crazy. That's just
extremely hot.
And so Jason, Devin and I were talking a little earlier about how that affects the harvest that you're in the middle of right now.
Yeah, so certainly what it's doing is the fruit that we have out, it's really accelerating the sugar, primarily through like rapid desiccation, so dehydration. And then with that, what's happening is, other parameters of the fruit, we're not able to get full development. But it's not, so far what we've seen is we were able to harvest enough vineyards, or different pieces up front leading to this event that we clear that out. And so that fruit wasn't affected so much. And we harvested some fruit yesterday. And it was definitely, a little more dehydrated, but I think that ultimately it's going to turn out to be really good. I think we got it still in time. And everything that is still out, which we still have quite a bit of harvest to go, it's actually handling it rather well. So we're really lucky. Just trying not to kind of make any knee-jerk reactions and pick fruit too quickly. Just kind of let things settle a little bit.
So, and Jason, does that change the times that you harvest? Do you do it like in the middle of the night because it's cooler, or are you out there all day? I understand that you've actually paused what you were doing to come and do this for us. Thank you.
No, that's all right. Yeah. So today we're actually doing aggressive samplings of different vineyards to again see kind of where our baselines are after this heat event, and try to extrapolate that and see, develop a map to continue moving forward. And like I said, I think we're in actually rather decent shape. We made some really good calls earlier on that really paid off. And so that's the biggest challenge of it all, is trying to time that and get it done right. And it looks to me too, like, the extended forecast, things are gonna kind of dial back with the temperature too. So I think we're gonna have some relief with that, and it'll buy us a little bit of time to really kind of figure this out as we're moving forward.
Very cool. Well, and we've only got about 20 minutes here, the Brown Bag Lunch, while people eat their lunch. And so why don't we talk a little bit about the 2020 vintage of this Pinot Noir. It's from your Stegman Ranch, and it's our feature wine on page 2 and 3 of the current cellar. So and Devin was saying that you've seen the spread, and we're touting this Pinot, and I can tell you, having it in my glass, we just had a conversation, everybody, just before we came live, was that the inkiness, how much saturation there is in the color of this Pinot Noir. And talk a little bit about how you're getting that, Jason.
Yeah, so that vineyard in particular, not all vineyards give up that type of color. And, this is definitely one of our favorite vineyards that we work with. Typically the fruit, tastes really rich from the very beginning. It has a lot of really good character to it, dense character for that matter. The skins are very black in development. And, like I was saying, not every piece tends to give that, but when we get this fruit in the fermenter, and as time progresses, the color starts to develop rather quickly, especially for this particular block. I mean, even when we're out sampling, just doing vineyard samples and bring this back, the color is always denser. Even in the samples, you can see it. You could actually kind of say, well, which ones are darker, and so that's very helpful. And then as we're able to work with the material in the open top cell fermenters and push down the cap and continue to pull that color out, it's always a really great thing. It's I love seeing it. It's really fun.
And how often do you do that punch down?
Yeah, so we actually start off really gradual. We do a 24 to 48 hour cold stoke, so an extended maceration, and within that time too, that bleeding or that pulling of the color starts to happen. And with that, and within that time frame too, we do like a gentle kind of juice, not really a pump over, but like a saturation on top, right? So we don't actually start to kind of manipulate the cap too early on, because we don't want to facilitate bitterness and astringency, but we also want to agitate and get that juice up on top and let it bleed through the cap to kind of try to accentuate that until we start to see some lifting of the cap and increase in temperature, at which point we start to do our punch downs, so submerging the cap back into the liquid 3 to 4 times a day through its peak of fermentation. And so it's this kind of this gradual extraction all the way through, like I said, that peak. That's the most important aspect of it.
Yeah. So and I can say for a guy that is drinking good wine every day, there's that magic that you talk about knowing how to do that the way you've just described it, but without it becoming astringent and without it becoming bitter. And there's right. I actually think there's a bit of genius there. That's because I'm sure enjoying that's in my glass.
It's a bit of a feeling, you have to be able to observe the cap and see what's happening with it, and really kind of have a sense of where you're at. It's not a super mechanical thing. We're not following a strict protocol. After day 1 you do 1, after day 2 you have to kind of observe it and know what's going on. So it's an active process for sure, and it takes time to kind of figure that out.
So I know you've got the bottle there. I saw it earlier. And do you have some in your glass?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The one thing I was going to say about this wine that I've noticed is it really opens up well in the glass as it's able to kind of sit for a little bit. And you actually start to get the fruit, the aromatics, the spice characteristics. It opens up really well. So,
and being 2020, we've got a drinking window of 2022 to 29, which so this is going to evolve over time. But it's drinking really well now, isn't it? I mean, you must be really happy with this.
Yeah, we were definitely able to fine tune the palate. It's got really good density. It's very smooth in structure. It's very approachable and drinking really nice right now. And I just expect over time that it will continue to evolve in that kind of manner and open up and become just more integrated and well-rounded. And as it opens up, it'll definitely be very expressive.
That's great.
And feel good on the palate.
And those of you who have joined us today, if you have any questions for Jason or for Devin, please just let us know. You can write them in the chat, and I'll be happy to ask them of Jason. But as you can tell, I could talk to them all day about the winemaking process and how you come up with these wines. It's unfortunate. Twyla Laxo on our board is one of your biggest fans, and she's in a plane right now on her way to Montreal, where I am as well. So unfortunately she couldn't join us, but we're recording this just for Twyla. So it's
fantastic.
Yeah, she's one of your biggest fans. I still haven't visited you yet, but I'll get there yet. It's a beautiful spot, and it was great to have you guys on the cover as well. We really enjoyed having that. And let's talk a little bit about the wines that we've got in the catalog this time. Well, I think, is this the first time we've done your whites? I'm not sure. I've always bought your reds, but we've got your Sauvignon Blanc and your Chard.
Yeah, no, this is not the first time.
No,
we've done.
They've been there before.
Yeah, we've done. Yeah, you've always been very supportive. So kind of Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay. We've done a couple of vineyard designated Chardonnays in the past, and we've even done bubbles. We'll hope to get some bubbles to allocate next year for you as well. But yeah, you've had a good spectrum over the years. Now, can I ask you something, Michael? Is this something that is common up north to have a brown bag and then pair it with really fine wine?
It absolutely is for I think you got me, Devin. Is that it's certainly one that I've always and you know what, to be perfectly frank, I share this with opinion members all the time, is that I have a very popular house because people can come for lunch and enjoy fine wines like this. And it's true. I'm not afraid. What do they say, that life's too short to drink poor wine? And so I've always got excellent wines in my cellar. I've got 1,000 bottle cellar at my house. And so I've got lots of yours in it. And quite frankly, yes, I did have this with my lunch today. And, so
Yeah.
oh, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's the nose opening up for you? I mean, the spice characteristic, the sweet cherry, tobacco, cedar, clove, cinnamon.
And I can tell you, I opened this about half an hour ago, and it's evolving already in the glass, and it is, like you said, opening up. And I mean,
the oak integration of fruit.
Say that again.
The oak integration in fruit is, I mean, considering the challenges of that wine in particular, I think it turned out to be fantastic. We really stuck to it.
And like, what made you plant Pinot, or was that you?
So that particular vineyard, my family developed that in the early 2000s. That actual piece, it's a 6-acre piece on a descending hillside, and it was designed for, super premium, really high end Pinot Noir from the very beginning since its inception. And we've done a lot of work with it. And so that's kind of how that vineyard in particular was derived. And certainly that's how we're using it at Hook Ladder Winery. And that's why in a lot of ways it's absolutely one of our very best performing vineyards, or for those reasons. So it's not entirely a mystery to that. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastic piece for sure.
And it's fairly rare. I mean, it's a relatively small plot, right? How many bottles are you making of this Pinot? It's not a ton.
Around 350 cases or so.
Yeah, it's like, thank you for giving us an allotment of that. It's awfully kind of you.
And with that too, I mean, that's not everything that comes out of that vineyard in particular. I mean, some of that wine is used in other programs, but we make that 350 cases and keep it to a small select size, and we do that through individual barrel selection, right? So really trying to kind of dial in and make a specific size, batch of wine that we could do a single vineyard designate bottling, call it Stegman Ranch, that is the most expressive aspect of that vineyard itself. And so we're able to go through it and do that process. So that's what makes it really fun as well.
Yeah, and what the people on the call will know, that Greg tends toward Pinot Noir as a quote unquote lighter bodied, lighter wine, and I'm kind of that heavy guy. I like Bordeaux blends and I like cabs, but I tell you, this one has got me. That's great.
Yeah, I'm not personally, I'm not the hugest fan of super delicate light bodied Pinots. I think that they can be expressive and rich in style. That's certainly something we try to capture, whether it's from a particular vineyard that has that kind of body and characteristic, or through barrel selection and finding really good oak integration and trying to accentuate something.
Right, and Leia has answered Phil's question, but I think it's worth saying out loud, is he's asking what wine we're talking about. He got on a little late, and this is the feature wine, Phil, that's on page 2 and 3 of the current cellar. And it's the 2020 Stegman Ranch estate bottled Pinot Noir. And I think we got sidetracked there, Jason, about talking about how 2020 compares to some of your other vintages. Was it a hot, cold, dry?
Yeah, it was a warmer vintage. We during that year we also had quite a bit of wildfires. So we had to be very careful in our timing of when we picked that fruit and how we work with it in-house. Again, it's just one of those things that you kind of have to contend with, whether it's heat waves or, wildfires or things like that. And so it was tough to navigate, but I think we were able to do it, and make the absolute best decisions to ultimately make, a really good wine.
Great. And apologies, Phil, I didn't realize. So thank you for sharing that. And so I did want to just go one more into the other wines that that we're carrying this particular year, and I'm the Tillerman from Chalk Hill, that red wine blend. It's one that is so very popular with Opimian members. And can you talk a little bit about that, Jason?
Yeah, so the Tillerman Red, so the name that the Tillerman comes from, it's kind of a tribute to my grandpa. He's retired San Francisco firefighter, and he was a Tillerman, so he drove the back end of the Hook Ladder fire truck in the city. The Tillerman Red blend is it's a Bordeaux style blend, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and it's designed to be super versatile, well balanced, multi-layered. It has great red fruit characteristics, black fruit, nice even mouth, and that's one of the things that we like about it is it's just a really well drinking wine. It's very well balanced. It's versatile. It's an everyday kind of go-to wine, and it's one that we definitely love making.
No, that's great. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Really appreciate you joining us. We're just coming up on our 20 minutes, and we do like to try and stay on time here. But I can tell everybody that they should have a case of this Pinot in their cellars, and it's way drinkable now, but it'll also evolve to 2029. So I don't know if it's in a 3-pack, maybe I'll get a couple. And so thanks again, Devin and Jason, for your time. And you get back out there and start picking some grapes.
Hey,
all
yeah.
right, gentlemen.
Yeah, we got to.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for all the support over the years. Thank you for the support this year. We appreciate you so much.
It's a real pleasure. Have a great one. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.